A very good morning to Dr. Ani Munirah Mohamad and all my fellow mates. Today, I'll be presenting on the case of Public Prosecutor versus Sarjit Kaur, anak perempuan Najar Singh, that emphasizes on the concept of circumstantial evidence. First things first, I will go through the brief facts of this case as which have been summarized. The accused, who was the wife of the deceased, was charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code for the murder of her husband. The husband was found killed in their house whilst asleep in a sleeping position when he had been slashed 4 times on his neck by the assailant. In this case, the prosecution relied solely on circumstantial evidence to establish that the accused was guilty of killing her husband. The motive that was inferred by the prosecution was that the accused was an unfaithful wife. There had been also allegations that she was having an affair with someone else other than her husband. Her relationship with her husband was not as good as it seemed to be. The accused was often beaten by her husband, which may have caused her hatred due to the ill treatment. The accused would also benefit financially if her husband died. Moreover, the accused agreed wearing the blood-stained dress at the night of the killing. Apart from that, the accused had also insisted that the maid and children slept earlier than usual on the day of the event. I will be expressing my personal feelings on the decision made in this case. In my opinion, I wholly agree with the decision of the judge to acquit and discharge the accused. There are several reasons on why I feel as such. Circumstantial evidence is evidence that relies on an inference to connect it to a conclusion of fact. It is one that only establishes inferences and does not prove the point in question. For example, the bloodstains in her dress could have came from holding and grieving her dead husband in a helpless situation. In whole, the prosecution has a duty to establish a proper standard of proof in a responsible manner. In this case, the prosecutor had failed to establish beyond reasonable doubt that the accused had murdered her husband to form a proper standard of proof. Moreover, the prosecutor also did not prove the point in question, which is the murder of the husband by the accused through the inferred motives. The prosecutor should ensure that there is a greater chance, which is above 50%, that circumstantial evidence inferring the facts is true. The failure to do so made the circumstantial evidence to be not clear and convincing. The court must be satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that the accused had indeed committed the murder. However, due to the failure of the prosecutor to infer motive from the facts in a proper manner, the accused was acquitted and discharged. This is due to the circumstantial evidence provided by the prosecution being not strong enough. There had been also too many doubts that had arisen in the prosecution's case, where the inference of the motives were rebutted with an example where the deceased and the accused had gone together for holidays and he had paid a huge deposit for a car for his wife. My evaluation on this case based on circumstantial evidence is as such. According to Section 60 of the Evidence Act 1950, weightage provided for circumstantial evidence in courts is very low. However, if the circumstantial evidence is accumulated, it could build a strong and convincing case. For example, in the case of Sunny Ang vs. PP, the accused was proclaimed guilty for murdering his girlfriend due to the accumulation of circumstantial evidences, such as the accused allowing the girlfriend to dive in dangerous waters and the accused making a formal claim to her insurance company less than 24 hours of her disappearance. A similar case which best refer to Public Prosecutor versus Sarjit Kaur anak perempuan Najar Singh is the case of Hanif Basri. In this case, circumstantial evidence had not been strong enough. Firstly, there had been no sign of break-in, so the killer was someone known to the deceased. The prosecution also contended that the accused had intimate relationship with her. The accused was the last person with her and last to have sexual intercourse with her. In addition, the DNA on the towel was proof that the accused had choked the deceased. The court, however, held that there were too many doubts in the prosecution's case, which made the case unclear and not convincing. As a conclusion, the final words of mine in regards of this case is that I wholly agree with the decision made in Public Prosecutor versus Sarjit Kaur anak perempuan Najar Singh. I am of the opinion that this was a relevant decision due to the fact that the prosecutor only established inferences from circumstantial evidence which did not actually prove the point in question. Plus, there had been too many doubts that had arisen in the prosecutor's case itself. This further caused the contentions placed by the prosecutor to be unclear and unconvincing. In my opinion, the best way forward for the issue arisen is to combine circumstantial evidence with corpus delicti. Corpus delicti has two distinct components. Number one, the death as a result, and number two, the criminal agency of another as the means. Corpus delicti should be applied alongside with circumstantial evidence to eliminate the concept that as long as the least amount of doubt exists, the criminal agency cannot be established. No matter how circumstantial evidence is, whether it is strong or weak, it will amount to nothing unless corpus delicti is established. The question which may arise is why corpus delicti together with circumstantial evidence? This is because corpus delicti eliminates the probability caused by circumstantial evidence. Finally, it also applies the relevant concept that a citizen should not be deprived of his liberty or life due to a mere possibility. Thank you.